What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Backburner.
Swaggertron chillin'.
And Josh.
Gonna bring you a brand new deck profile. This time it is Koa'ki Meiru, or however you pronounce it. And this is the Road to Primal Origins, one of the decks we were gonna use.
Yep, and this is one of the decks that I personally hate with a passion because it just does not work for me. But for Backburner, it's like godsend, so I'm gonna let him deal with this.
So this one doesn't really run the three, the rank 3s with tour guide and everything, and I think they have a themed Koa'ki Meiru too.
Yeah, like this one isn't centered around tour guides to help push the OTK. This is one is like more of a grind thanks to the fire fish that was thrown in here. Yeah,
it's pretty much being able to make rank 4s at will and setting up for the next turns is what the main focus of this deck is. The brand new card they got is Diamond Core Koa'ki Meiru, but I'll talk about that card once we get to it. So we're going to start with the monster lineup. His Koa'ki Meiru Unright. Pretty much all their effects are yet to reveal. You have to either send an Iron Core to the grave or you reveal a Beast Warrior type in your hand for it to stay on the field.
And this is a condition, so you have to do it. Even if their skill drain ever gets failed, you have to show it or else it will be destroyed in this condition.
Yep. Pretty much his effect is you could reveal an Iron Core from your hand, and you can special summon level 4 lower Koa'ki Meiru from your deck. There's only one other target, so we'll get to that. It's Koa'ki Meiru Crusader. Pretty much, I think he's one of the strongest ones.
He's the... no.
No?
There's one that ties with him.
Well, pretty much his thing is, if he destroys a monster and sends it to the graveyard, you can add a Koa'ki Meiru card from the graveyard, and that it's either... You can add Iron Core, you could add Diamond Core, and you could add Unright.
But most of the time you will go for the Roto one.
Yeah, you'll go for Diamond Core. So that's the only Koa'ki Meiru monsters we're running. It's always great to have Unrights in your hand. It's kind of stuck to drawing multiple Crusaders, but that's where the Fire Fist engine helps a little bit. And
if anything, your Fire Formations and your Lances make him a decent beater, so it's not entirely bad.
Yeah. Alright, so that's it for Koa'ki Meiru lineup. Next up, we have Coach Soldier Wolfbark. Pretty much to help with the fire. I'm running 5 Fire Fist monsters, so I'll just search him out if I know a Fire Fist is in the grave or is going to get destroyed, just to set up for another rank 4. And since he's at 1.
Fuck it, why not?
Yeah, so. And then we had 3 Brother of the Fire Fist Bears. This card wins too many games for me. The bear pop is ridiculous.
And you run like 5 Fire Formations, so why not?
Yeah.
Plus it gets you 10 keys real quick, which gets Earnite, which sets you up, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, and then my personal favorite, Gorilla. Anything that pops back row is a good card to me. Pretty much just, we all know what Gorilla does. Shows a card that gets added Fire Formation to set onto the field, whatever.
Yeah, most of the time you probably won't get his effect though, because he's kind of weak, so it's hard to kill things, but yeah. Popping back row is pretty good.
Yeah, and I was gonna, it's between him and Dragon. I didn't feel Dragon was worth it in this deck, because I'm not running any of the trap ones.
Yeah, you could run a variant that incorporates Dragon, but that's up to you guys to experiment.
It's all personal preference, honestly. Alright, we're gonna get to the spells. Before I do that, I did think about running Summoner Monk in this deck, but I don't feel all the magic cards in my deck are worth it. I need to use all of them pretty much to the core of the deck in a weird way. So we have 2 Iron Core of the Koa'ki Meiru, pretty much the heart and soul of this deck. I'm only running 2 because once you get 1 in your hand, that's pretty much it. You don't need the other one.
Yep. Plus your Rhoda pretty much get that card as well. And if you need to get this card if you even want to get your power push with Earnite, so yeah. 3 is a little too clogged like Backburner said, but it works out.
Yeah, so 2 for that. The 1 Dark Hole, and then the new card that's coming out, well, I don't know if it's been announced for the TCG, but this is a Primal Origin card. It's a Diamond Core of Koa'ki Meiru. I'll read you the effect. It is add 1 Koa'ki Meiru card from your deck to your hand.
Hold on guys, there's more. There's more!
Except Diamond Core of the Koa'ki Meiru. You can banish this card from your graveyard this turn. Koa'ki Meiru monsters you control cannot be destroyed.
Let's pause and just let our brains evaluate that last part.
Yep, that effect wins me fucking games like crazy. Let's just give you an example. You use Earnite. Well, let's say you use Diamond Core to search out Iron Core. You summon Earnite, reveal Iron Core, special summon Crusader. That's pretty much close to 4K damage on board already.
Yep. And if you get both like 4 Koa'ki monsters out and you activate and banish that magic card from the graveyard, your opponent's Mirror Force ain't doing jack.
Oh yeah, I've had people getting mad at me with that one, but
a thing you guys gotta remember though is that this is not a quick effect, which means you cannot respond into a chain where like if your opponent activates Mirror Force, you cannot chain it, so you have to preemptively activate it.
And this is sort of a pro tip I've noticed with this deck. Most of the time, you do not want to search out Ur Knight with Diamond Core. You will want to search out Iron Core unless you have either or, because Ur Knight's a little easier to get into your hand, but Iron Core, the only really way to get him into your hand is with Diamond Core and or Lavabo Chain.
Yeah.
So, you know, Tenki, that's great. Search out Ur Knight. You know, Bear gets Tenki like nothing. Gorilla gets it. You know, Tiger King make it. So, Diamond Core, unless you have Iron Core in your hand, I mean, unless you have whatever, you use Diamond Core to search out Iron Core just to have it ready. That's just something I learned playing with this deck. Then we have 2 dualities. First turn duality is always good.
Yeah, consistency, because believe it or not, you actually don't draw into every single one of your Roto-like cards, so...
No. We've all had
even though you run like freaking 6 of them.
Yeah. 2 MSTs, pretty much have 4 MSTs in this deck, but... Book of Moon. 2 Lances just to make sure my Ur Knight plays go off and, you know, protect everything.
And this Fire Fist, part of this deck is Fire Fist, so you know damage step is like a thing they need.
Oh yeah. Just attacking to Bear, chain Lance with damage step will get my search off. Alright, so the Fire Formation cards, this is all personal preference and what I found comfortable with. You could change it all you want. You could limit this to whatever you want. I use 2 Tensus to get the flow going. Just being able to use Ur Knight more than once per turn, and you know, either then use Ur Knight, make a rank 4, and use Wolf Bark to make another rank 4, or just go for massive damage is so good, and that's why I keep Tensu at 2. I do see people making it at 1 and using other Fire Formation cards, but I found this more comfortable for myself.
Plus it just adds more fuel to your Bear and Gorilla stuff, so...
Yeah.
And also on top of that, even though this deck is incentive toward OTKs, it can do a decent close to it with Tensu, so...
Yep. And then we have the 3 Fire Formation Tenki. No idea why it's still at 3, but...
Every single godforsaken thing in this deck is fucking Beast Warrior, so why not?
Yeah, you can pretty much search out anything. I did have Koa'ki Tornado, but I dropped him because he's not searchable with Tenki.
Wait, is that the one that you pitch the Iron Core and just bullshit up?
It blows off Special Summon monsters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not searchable. It's a little too situational too, so I dropped that. And then we're gonna go to the traps. Pretty much kind of standard. The 1-ofs, Bottomless, Compulse, Solemn, Torrential.
Big 4.
Yeah. Then the 2 Mirror Forces, 2 D Prisons, and 2 Chains. So that wraps up the main deck. Before I go into the extra deck, I'll go into the cards that almost made the deck. Or the Phantom Beast, since it is Fire Fist, you know, damage step shit is always crazy with this deck. But I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable with using it in this deck, and this deck, the space in this deck is real tight, so I couldn't find a way to get them in there.
I mean, the only reason why I personally don't like the card in this deck is because there are times where you open up really fucking weird, so you don't want to use... Like, you have weird hands, you just don't have monsters, and this only works if you have a monster, so sometimes it can't be dead, so...
Yeah. Fire Formation Gyoku. I tried so hard to fit it into this deck, but I cannot find anything that is worth dropping right now.
Yeah, so if you guys want to drop like 1 Tensu, then...
Yeah. I like this card. It's pretty much... Let's say you hit this on a Mirror Force. That just says, fuck you. Alright, and then Daikoso Emerald, pretty much to recycle everything, but didn't really use it that much, so kind of just dropped it to make room for another thing. Alright, then we're going to go into the extra deck. We're going to run 1 Bujintai Kagasuchi.
A card that this kid cannot stop making for...
I like it. Every time I use it, I always mill Diamond Core, and then I could go, you know, push everything.
This kid will mill 3 Tenkis, and he still say best card ever.
Shut up. 1 Darkline Warrior Kangorum. I hope they change his name.
He's gonna be Evil Storm. I'm calling it.
Mark his word. So him pretty much something targets. I actually got his fucking effect off.
Actually, if you guys didn't know, he's coming out in Prime Origins for TCG soon.
Yeah. Pretty much if he's targeted, if anything's targeted on the field, you could change what it targets with this card.
Yep, as long as it's appropriate target. Like, let's say your opponent activates Spellbook of Power. You can't activate this in response because unless you have another spellcaster on the field, you can't use the effect because it's not an appropriate target. So.
Yeah. Alright, what of him? We have number 103 Ragna Zero.
Another card coming out in Primal Origins.
Definitely picking one of her up.
Oh yeah. Against Fire Fist, this card is too nice.
Mirror matches against Boojins. You know, anything that...
Dark Worlds, Heartbeats, anything with Power Boost, this thing is like the god and the savior against them.
Yeah, I think one person got it off of me, but luckily I had a Phoenix Chain, because that would have been fucked.
Wait, did you read it back?
My bad. Once per turn during either player's turn, that's...
Quick effect.
You can detach one XC material from this card, then target one face-up attack monster your opponent controls, whose current attack is higher than its original attack. Destroy that target.
And wait, there's more!
If you do, draw one card. It's overworked, but better.
Yep, that power to draw a card is just too nice.
It's really more draw power. And then 2 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. Pretty much the main rank 4 you would go into, I guess. Depends.
Yep. Plus, you don't really need 3 to be honest.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people run 3. Honestly, I never go into more than 2.
And guys, remember he has a 3rd effect.
You're not gonna see it here because I don't know what's with YGO not showing all the effects, but pretty much I got him off one time and we were so happy.
Yeah, his effect is pretty much when he's destroyed, if you have 3 fire formations, send to the grave, and you can bring out. You basically Rescue Rabbit.
Yeah, except for effect monster.
He becomes Rescue Rabbit when he dies, and you have enough fire formations.
1 corn to say fuck you Yamato. That's pretty much what I use it for.
I use it against Gusto.
Yeah. Sorry, David. If you could find a way in this deck to make this a 2, I would honestly say 2 because you could make rank 4s like nothing. Number 101, Silent Honors, Arclight.
Yep, we don't really need to talk about that because everyone knows that.
I just say if you could find room to make 2, and I probably will eventually, but right now I like my extra deck, so.
Next card, however, is too nice.
Oh,
you need to play it.
It works well in this deck. It is number 82, Heartland Draco. Pretty much is, while you control a face-up spell card, this card cannot be targeted for an attack. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XC material from this card. This turn, this card can attack your opponent directly. Also, other monsters cannot attack. God knows you're gonna have fire formations out all the fucking time.
Yep, so unless your opponent has an MST, and their life points are like less than 2,000 or like only less than 4,000, this card is gonna wreck them.
This adorable thing is gonna wreck your face.
Yep, so definitely, this is a staple. If any card you could take from here to staple, that's a staple.
Yeah, if you didn't know, he came out on the new Gold series. It's pretty cool.
And it's pretty cheap, so if you guys can cop it, cop it.
I think it's become a staple in Fire Fist in general.
Stab, Boojins, or anything with a...
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't even start me with fuel spells to any deck that has fuel spells. Before I go into tangent, skip to the next card.
Diamond Direwolf. Maybe he could get cut for 101. I really honestly don't go into him, but then I go against the next duel that I need him in.
Yeah, honestly, since everything's Beast War, you keep it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Diamond Dire is that card you might not go into a lot still, but he's still a good card. He's like a Abyss Dweller. Do we even need to say anything about him?
Moving on.
Maestro is still a great card in the meta. I'm sorry, I love this
Noble
card.
Knights cry. That's all I need to say.
Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Cardinal, since you could potentially get a couple Fire Fists on the field.
God knows you can do it if you actually pull a targeting effect.
Yeah, you make Cardinals, send 2 Fire formations and whatever. Fire Fist players know this shit. Next up, Lavabo Chain.
Just to send Iron Core to your grave.
Yeah, it's pretty much if you can get an Urn Knight but you don't have an Iron Core, just... Oh, I didn't read that for Iron Core's effect. During your draw phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand instead of drawing. And or send 1 Cookie Mirror monster from your hand to the graveyard and add this to your hand.
So pretty much, what you can do with Lavabo Chain is like one turn send Iron Core, and then the next turn, you activate Lavabo Chain's effect to stack Urn Knight on top of your deck so you can draw it the following turn, so just set up a plays.
Yeah.
Because like I said again, you don't always draw the fucking Rhoda for Iron Core.
Alright, and then we have Abyss Dweller.
Murmurs and Dragons are still out there, people.
It's pretty good against Indulgence too. Problem is, it's just that's the problem. And then,
because Heartland Draco wasn't enough to steal games, we need this guy too.
we need Cowboy because why not? So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any suggestions, just let me know. Just quick tip: don't treat it as a Fire Fist deck. It is Fire Fist, but
it's Fire Fist. It's just that the Koa'ki Meiru stuff is just to add more of a power push to it.
yeah.
Because to be honest, Fire Fist monsters outside of Bear Popping, they're weak as shit.
Pretty much, I just added Fire Fist because I didn't want just Koa'ki Meiru. I was just relying on everything just to get the Go TK or whatever.
And plus, you use a lot of Fire Formation cards from the very beginning, even without the Fire Fist stuff. So you might as well just throw it in there just to give purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, guys. It's been your boy Backburner.
Swagtron. Oh, and before we end this, I'm thinking about doing this a little more often, like dual comms on deck profile, because last time we did it was on GKs, and it actually turned out pretty cool. So I might do this a little more often. So if you guys like it, let me know, and I'll probably do it more often. So
Your keepers suck.
what?
What?
No. Sean
What?
said it. He said it.
I mean, I did destroy them.
I've been quiet, but I don't know. I got a challenge.
All right. Well, we're gonna let a brawl's gonna happen. We'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Later.